Just a little bit of warning, if you hear any coughing, it's not part of my poetry. I'm not that experimental. Just a bit, just a bit under the weather today. Um, my favorite poet of all time, Hafez of Shiraz, is like a Persian poet from the 11th century, says, "I wish I could show you the astonishing light of your being in your darkest hour." And so I somehow feel that that's the aim I create my poetry with all the time. So before I begin, I want you all to close your eyes. Don't worry, I'm not stealing your stuff.
Don't be nervous.
Everyone close your eyes and take a deep breath in, fill your stomach and your chest, and let it out through your mouth. Take another deep breath in, fill your stomach and your chest, and let it out through your mouth. One last deep breath and let it out through your mouth. Now imagine you're on a beach. There's the sand, there's the sun, there's the water. Hear the waves. Now imagine there's scars in your back. Imagine those scars are burning in the sand and the heat and the sun. Now imagine that you like this pain. Now walk few steps further, dip your feet in the water, and the moment the water touches your feet, let it make every dark corner of your body and your soul enlightened, aware of every pain, of every sorrow, of joy, of bliss. Now let's dive into this water. This first poem is called Want. You can open your eyes now. I want your lips between mine, the wrinkles on them aligned, your sweet supple spine locked against mine entwined. I want to taste the sweat of your armpits, the scent of which knits my fits to my wits, hits right where it pleasures me the most. I want to watch you burn, to feel your neck, for my hands yearn to engulf you in my flames, so I learn about every place in your body that pains to want me more. I want to taste your moon blood. I wanted to do what rain does to mud. I want to bathe in its flood and not let a drop go in vain. I want to have you on bread, all the way to the edges spread as my hunger hangs by a thread, like I've had you on bed, but this time with olive oil and pepper. I want to immortalize your breasts, those in which my fire rests and my tongue so fervently quests. Those two fine crests are meant to be housed by my mouth. I want you more till I reach this want shore, till I want you like I've never wanted before. Until then, I'll just keep swimming. Swimming into the depths of you till this want stops feeling like new, and few are the chances I fathom that I will ever stop saying, I want. Thank you. That's the kind of poems that I normally do, and I've been called perverse and a lot of things actually. People have asked me why do I write erotica, and I've questioned it myself. I've been writing erotica for almost 8 years now, and recently I've just realized that we live in a society where speaking about rape and genocide and homicide is so common on TV, on social media, between friends and family. But if you speak about the supple breasts of your lover, it's just everyone flinches and cringes. No? So I guess I write erotica just to change that. Here's my next poem. It's called Mortal. I am the guardian of the gates of hell. She, a goddess that came from a cotton shell. Her very presence morphs the flux of space-time, her hair like rivers that flood my coarse soil and douse me in her intoxication. As her hand brushes past my mortal skin, she jumbles my molecules and my blood runs thin, and as she gazes deep down into my soul, I serve myself into her empty bowl. She ignites my body in an auspicious heat, she's here to feed on my mortal meat. Her skin is lit like a million suns glow. My limbs they move to her shuddering flow. Her voice in an enchantment that galaxies know commands me to love her in her celestial form. So she draws first blood, and I bleed light. I am the moon she burns at night. Every atom sets into motion at her sight as our red bodies and vacuum collide, and then there's quiet. A silence so loud our senses melt. Her fingers, their touch causes burning welts. A pain of my mortal mind a pain my mortal mind that has never felt and is now learning to love. Bright and blinded in her velveteen arms, our bodies chime like sorcerer's charms. For a moment, I feel like a god and she like a woman, and she sweats and needs me in a ball of warmth. She awakens and sheds on me all her needs, and then plunges into me, into my body to feed the flesh, the blood, the bones, and all. I am ready to be one with her. But then, for a second, our eyes meet. Right before she squeezes my heart out of beat, she sees me beam back at her as I bleed light. I am the moon she burns at night. Well, apart from these two poems, I'm going to perform a few from my book.
What's it called?
So my book is called Pheromones by Deven. It was published in 2019, end of 2019, and it's been quite a good journey. I think I'm going to perform one from here that I've never ever performed before, and it's called If. If my fingers bled ink on you, would you care to lay still? And let me finish writing this piece while you let the ink reach your heels for those graceful cracks to fill. If I saw you one afternoon in my bed, would you disperse, stretch out your branches and tie me up? Would you let me tend to your roots? And if I'm thirsty, let me drink out of your cup. If I held you close between the pages of my book, would you remind me where I was like you always do? And be my trail to walk on, thoughts to think, words to write, my wine to drink too. If one day you try to scrape all of me off of you, what about the places your hands can't reach but mine do? If one day I paint you yellow and your feet blue, would you melt off of me like all evening suns into the ocean dew? Or burn till you light me up, so bright I can't see you? If one night you realize this is it, pack your things and ask back every little thing that belongs to you. You could take the lamps, the curtains, the closets, but what about the skin stuck under my nails that I've never given back to you? The second poem I'm performing from Pheromones is one of my most favorite poems in the book, and it's called Neurochemical. I've performed it quite a few times. I think a few people have heard it over here. Um, this is Neurochemical. My mind sleeps to the tune of the death of a million drops bustling into the face of earth, dying in the love of scorched leaves and barren lands. Sounding more and more like when your breast pressed against mine, beating in the love of hugging hands, the friction of your skin parting from mine left a warmth that has now turned cold within seconds. Like I'm human only if you touch me, like I'm loved only if you kiss me, like you're not alone if you miss me, like I don't exist out of you, like I'm not me but I am you, like I'm a freckle of neurochemical detail only in your head, like if you didn't feel me, I'd be dead. Like that day I heard you said, what would I be without you? Like this time I spend TikTok without you, waste watering my existential crisis of being a big nothing outside of you. Like this madness slowly crawling up my under my legs, creeping up my feet, onto my sheets, into my hand, then bursting open into mental pictures of what I could have said in return. That I love being this way, floating into the direction of your sway, to be the grass upon which you can lay and ponder over the unforgettable stimulations you felt as we embraced. Like I'm only real if you thought of me. Only if you only if you picture us together naked with all your heed. Only if you saw a book you can't stop to read. And only if you felt your hand in mine on a moonlit beach of our blurred memories. Like every passing minute dripping with moments is breaking into a pulp of sight, sound, touch, smell, and taste, as if time is in a haste to break us apart. Like in your voice, I'm screaming. Like all and within me is fading. Like the entire idea of me is ailing or systems failing. Like I'm on the edge of extinction, a work of fiction written by you on an intoxicated night, wanting to be freed from an unknown constriction, waiting in an unending fall, wanting to bustle in the love of you just like these drops. Only if you wake up, only if you wake me, only if you stop this apocalypse, only if you reach out and save me. Thank you. This what next one is called Ink in Blood, and it's quite an old one that I've dug out of the hole. Haven't read this one in a long time, so let's go. Ink on skin, your voice over mine. And what worth is language if our hearts and bodies rhyme? If our lips meeting is a crime, what worth is time? Break it, discombobulate it, and kiss me. If half dissolved in my arms you are, half melted in my dreams you are, what worth was this stirring so far? Churn, burn, merge with me. And what worth is my name if you can't say it without a tinge of shame? Moan it, groan it, sing it with me. For I am the torn jeans between your thighs, straps digging deep into your height, the two spoonfuls of truth between your eyes, and that one brow that lies every time it twitches when you look at me. I am the honey you taste on your teeth, the sweat you smell on your sheets, the breeze you feel on your cheeks, left halfway lingering. Want me, scour me, devour me. And if you don't feel me even when I'm not there, what worth is this pain to bear? This pain that I love so much and would love to share. Sense it, enjoy it, endure it with me. For I am the words that you won't speak, the verses that you won't make, the poem that you won't seek, but you streak into everything I wrote and will ever write. And if there's still some space left to write more of my words on your skin, what worth are these tides of fervor within? What worth is my pen running thing, ending the most beautiful verse I've ever written right above your chin? Bleed with me, greed with me. Read with me that what I never wrote but still exists somewhere between the rivers running down your spine and the wine of your voice that I'm sunk in, and that the ink of your blood that I'm drunk on. And what worth is being alive if your time into the ocean of my space won't dive and collide until matter is formed out of nothing? Breathe with me, exist with me, and write with me everything into reality. Walk with me, heave with me. Run with me before the ink runs out and we fade, and there's nothing left to be made but love, giving birth to yet another bone. Scrape off of the edges of the wounds the sharpness of my pen is about to give you. Thank you. My favorite poet, Hafez, my good old friend, says, "This place that you're in right now, God circled on a map for you." And this is a lesson I've been trying to teach myself over the past few years, and it's so profound to learn that the position that you're in, the situation that you're in, it's all meant to be, and you're in the right position where you are. And I've been practicing that for a year now, just taking everything that comes to me and making the most of it. So I went on a nomadic journey last year, just lived multiple months in 5 different countries and came back a different guy. And I think that that composure has brought me closer to myself, to my soul, to my body. And I recently had this super strong connection with a past life of mine, and I think this poem is from him, that guy that I lived centuries ago. And this is the last poem I'm gonna do for you. It's a very different from what I write, very different format. So sharing a very personal piece with you. It's called "The Falcon in the Blue Sky." Here it goes. The Falcon in the Blue Sky. I have nothing but this golden sky to offer, spilt across yon blue canvas, under the serenity of which the carcass of my enemies, all of whom bear my resemblance, perched upon by the falcon, rot and wither, for their blood to strengthen me, Tengri is my witness. I have nothing but these arms and this heart to give for kingdom, love, and legacy, a heart that beats to the hooves of my steed, the only music the land knows, the sands are my ink, the winds are my song. I have nothing but this chest to bear, through which my sun shines, made of molten will, smouldering in pride, once more into the battle, all be won, all be lost, throbbing to the sounds of stretched leather, pounded upon by fists, ripe for a meeting with fate once again. I have nothing but this sword clenched, blades up, despite double-edged, oath bound, for brotherhood shall remain in its glory, for men to bask in, sheathed and quenched. I have nothing but the last word to leave behind, written in sweet waters of Umai, before I ride towards the day we drink from the skulls of the demons we've slayed, milk of the mare, blood of the bull, ale of the wisdom of the land, that we can call ours. That day, my brothers, the earth shall stand still. Thank you.